गोपी जाना बाला गिरिवरधारी गोपी जाना बाला गिरिवरधारी गोपी जाना गोपी जाना बाला गिरिवरधारी गोपी जाना गोपी जाना माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जाना गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज Yashodanandana Brojo Jamuna Tira Bonochari Jamuna Tira Bonochari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Hare Krishna. We would like to welcome all the devotees for weekly Remembrance session of our dear Guru Maharaj. Today we will be having his guest Sunil Mohan. So I will request her guest Prem Manjari Mataji for introducing Prabhuji and taking further the session.
Hare Krishna, Naren Patadin Prabhu. Smita Krishna Prabhu will be introducing Sunil Mohan Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Sunil Mohan Prabhu. Smita Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Is everything clear? My sound and video?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, good. Well, thank you very much, Prema Manjari Mataji, and our coordinator, Tarun Kanti Krishna Prabhu. This has been a very wonderful forum in which to connect everybody internationally in the common glorification of Guru Maharaj. Therefore, it's my pleasure today to be able to introduce Sunil Mohan Prabhu. Sunil Mohan Prabhu is one of our earlier senior devotees here in South Africa. And he is part of the important contingent of devotees in South Africa that supported many of Guru Maharaj's projects, particularly Ujjain Project. Together, in that contingent consisted of Yamunacharya Prabhu, Shalendranath Prabhu, Hemanga, and Jagannatha Pandit Prabhu. And Sunil Mohan was part of that. So very involved with the early developments of Ujjain Project. And here in South Africa also, many of Maharaj's projects, which he will explain about. Don't steal his thunder now. So he'll explain all those projects. But Sunil Mohan is a specialist surgeon at one of the prominent hospitals in South Africa, here in our province, KwaZulu-Natal, in Durban, the Parklands Hospital, and he's a specialist ENT surgeon, and also, you know, he was former head of the ENT Society of this country, South Africa. Also, he's quite involved with the local ISKCON temple, and he arranges devotee care and treatment for several devotees. Several of our Swamis have gone to Sunil Mohan for his expert assistance. And, you know, even if they need assistance for other types of issues, then he arranges with his colleagues. So devotees in the temple rely on him for that. And currently he's on the International Devotee Care Committee as well. And that's a very important aspect of our Krishna consciousness, to take care of devotees. So Sriman also, I'm personally indebted to him as a friend, because when Guru Maharaj was here in South Africa, there were so many programs at Sriman's house, and I was able to be there at any time, get lots of service, either drive Guru Maharaj, do his laundry, assist with some program. So I'm very indebted to him and Himangi for that. And in the course of those years, then I'd consider him my good friend now. So thank you very much. Over to you, Sunil Mohan Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishnaya Bhakti Shrimati Bhakti Charu Swami Iti Namane. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishnaya Bhakti Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Panchakapa Tavrusya Kripa Sindhu Vivecha Patitanam Prabhaviro Vaishnavo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. It is a great pleasure to be asked to speak today. Prema Manjari has been arranging this service, which is incredible, giving everybody a chance to remember our extremely happy days and our fortune to be associated with His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami, and in fact being initiated, many of us being initiated by him. Srila Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much. I don't know what I did in my spiritual life without you. Srila Krishna Prabhu has helped me tremendously in many aspects of my life. We are great friends, and I consider him my brother, my spiritual brother, my material brother. And I'm sure we'll have a great association going forward. So I'm going to talk today on my remembrances of Guru Maharaj. I just need to share my screen now. Tell me if it comes on.
Yes, Prabhuji, you can share the screen.
Share, yeah,
Your
okay.
co-host.
Okay, can you see that now? Is my screen sharing?
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Okay.
So, right, that's it.
Okay. So again, I said thank you very much for assisting me in Smita Prabhu. Smita Prabhu has helped me in this PowerPoint presentation to bring together some of the photographs and videos that we're going to show today. So my first thing I'd like to speak about is how I met Guru Maharaj. It's a bit of a long-winded story, but it was really something that I felt that was by no coincidence. In the early years when Himangi and I got married, we decided that we needed to have some spirituality in our lives, but we didn't really know how to go about finding this spirituality in our lives. And when I was doing an undergraduate degree at University of Durban Westville here in Durban, it's a local university, I used to meet the Hare Krishnas, and I should go there because of the prasadam. And I eventually started chanting one round a day, and eventually that stopped when I went to medical school. And when Himangi and I got married, we met a friend, one of my close friends from school days used to come and meet with me, and he was a bit of an odd character. And one day he mentioned to us that there's a Swami here in South Africa, and and apparently it was a Hare Krishna Swami. So he came. He actually brought the Bhagavad Gita home, and he had a Guru Maharaj's pranam mantra written on it. And at the same time, Himangi was working at a bank in South Africa, and she had met Surya Narayan Prabhu. And Surya Narayan Prabhu had sold Guru Maharaj's tapes to her. And I remember listening to it, and I thought this was such incredible bhajan, you know, and I had no spiritual inclination until then. And when I heard Guru Maharaj's voice, there was something special that attracted me to this. And I remember saying to myself, I've got to meet this person, you know. And then I knew Jagannathan Pandit very well because he was in the medical profession, and so I phoned Jagannathan Pandit and I asked him that I hear the Swami is here and I'd like to meet him. You know, he's a Hare Krishna Swami, not knowing that Jagannathan Pandit was a disciple of Guru Maharaj's. And he said, yes, I can arrange that meeting. And so off I went to Jagannathan Pandit's, to Prabhu Prabhu's house. Guru Maharaj was having a program at Prabhu Prabhu's house, and Himangi and I went there, and then Guru Maharaj gave us audience that day. And then when I walked into the room, Guru Maharaj looked at us and he offered me a chair. And I had no understanding of etiquette or anything at that time, but something told me that I must not sit on this chair at the same level as this man. And Guru Maharaj was like, you know, effulgent as ever before, and forever actually. And then so I sat on the floor, and Himangi sat next to me, and the Guru Maharaj asked us about ourselves and asked us if we had children and that sort of thing. And then he asked us. Then of course we left, and then through Jagannathan Pandit, he sent our very first instructions. He says he was very pleased with our manner and what have you. He gave, of course, the instructions of chanting Hare Krishna and following the 4 regulatory principles. And in particular, he said, ask them to help with the Abhay Charan project and the Ramabha project. And the Abhay Charan project, of course, was still in infancy at that stage. And so we got involved in the distribution of the videos. So I remember the master copy used to come from India after Guru Maharaj had put it together, and used to go to to Jamna Das Prabhu's house, where he had a bank of video cassettes that used to duplicate these video cassettes. And I used to go there and collect them, bring them home. We used to put them into the sleeves, into packets, and then we used to post them. And Prabhavati Mataji used to help us a lot with that project. And that is my initial involvement with the Abhay Charan project. And of course, now the Abhay Charan project is now, those were the old VHS tapes, the massive things that required a whole shelf for the entire series. But now it's down to a little memory stick now, thanks to the IT department in Ujjain. And of course, as far as the Ramabha project was concerned, I was involved with that with the Surya Narayan Prabhu. Guru Maharaj, of course, decided to produce a health protein bar, and he gave us a task of developing and designing the wrapper. And I remember I had an old digital camera in those days. And Srila Naren Prabhu and I photographed fruit and all of that. Guru Maharaj never used to be happy with our with our job, because he was such a a meticulous person that we never really came up to the standard. Eventually, we realized that we must give this up and get professionals to do it, and that's what we did. And that was the start of the wrapper. We helped with that. So that was the very first instruction that I got from Guru Maharaj, and I hope Guru Maharaj was pleased with my menial efforts, and Himangi's menial efforts at getting that project off the ground. And then many years went by. We chanted our rounds, followed the regulatory principles and etc. And then one day when Guru Maharaj was visiting South Africa, he did a program in the new Jagannath Puri temple in here in Durban, and then Himangi had discussed it and said, it's about time we got initiated, and then so that day I remember in the car park, Himangi and I approached Guru Maharaj and said to Guru Maharaj in an offbeat way, Guru Maharaj, we'd like to offer our prasadam to you and like to be initiated by you. So Guru Maharaj turned to us and says, Sunil Mohan, you've been my disciple you were initiated for a long time. This is just just to make it official, we'll do this. And then he asked me to jump into the car, in his car, and we drove back. I think he was staying at Jagannath Pandit's house that visit, and we drove there, and he gave me some instructions on how I should prepare myself for the initiation. And that was the 1st of May 2005, and on the 2nd of May 2005, Guru Maharaj initiated us. And I remember him asking me if I mind shaving my head, and so these are the photographs. That was Himangi Mataji and I on the day that we got initiated, and Guru Maharaj handing my beads to me and giving my name Sunil Mohandas. So I just wanted to say a bit about the Ujjain project. So that was in 2005 that Himangi and I got initiated. So in 2005, we went to Ujjain. Guru Maharaj invited us to Ujjain to go and look at the beginnings of the project. And these are some of the photographs I had taken of the Ujjain project. And there you can see Guru Maharaj proudly showing us the start of the construction. This area here was actually the foundations for the altar. Okay, and there's Jamna Acharya's face has just come in here. So we went as a little group to Ujjain, which eventually turned out to be a huge legacy that Guru Maharaj has left in ISKCON, the Ujjain project. I mean, it has grown tremendously. It has developed into everything that Guru Maharaj wanted. He wanted it to be a temple in one of the holiest cities in India. He wanted to have a altar department and all the IT department, and all of them developed very well under the guidance of Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Prem Swami, and all the incredible devotees in Ujjain. And Guru Maharaj, of course, embarked upon a number of projects, and great projects that he has left as his legacy in ISKCON that will not die for years and years to come. I mean, just to mention some of them, the translation of Srila Prabhupada's books into Bengali was a Herculean task that some of us won't be able to achieve in a lifetime. But in addition to that, of course, we've spoken about the Ujjain Project and the fact that it's now self-sustaining itself. The Abhay Charan project, the huge filming project. Guru Maharaj learned everything from first principles, and eventually was producing fantastic videos, had the best cameras in the industry. But the one project that Guru Maharaj, and he told me this, that he sees as his most important project in his lifetime, was actually his involvement in the making of the book sorry, very fun. Making of the book that establishes Srila Prabhupada as the founder Acharya of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, and as a preeminent teacher and ultimate authority within our society. Guru Maharaj always mentioned this. He always put Srila Prabhupada on a pedestal, and he felt that this book, the importance of this book, will keep Srila Prabhupada in this position for generations to come. He didn't want Srila Prabhupada's preeminence to be blurred in history going forward, and therefore he considered that to be his most important project. And I can imagine how much that meant to Guru Maharaj if all these other projects, which are huge successes in our eyes, and all these projects in their own right will remain for millennia to come. And this is the impact that Guru Maharaj has had on our society, on our lives, and on many lives going forward. So that was a bit about the project. Sorry, this is taking a bit. Sorry, beg your pardon. So, Guru Maharaj made many trips to South Africa, and especially in the late 2000s, and he did many programs. And I just wanted to highlight this particular program. This was held, a program in the City Hall. It was at that time, in the 2005-2006 period, the Ritvik movement was beginning to get traction in South Africa, and that disturbed Guru Maharaj greatly. And he then with the help of Anuradha Mataji, Sri Hari Prabhu, arranged this program in City Hall, where we took the devotees. We had Guru Maharaj gave a talk on the importance of ISKCON and the importance of the Vedic culture, and of course the importance of Srila Prabhupada in our lives. And this program was highly successful. As you can see, we had some very prominent dignitaries. That this man is Rajvanshi, Mr. Rajvanshi. Mr. Rajvanshi was a politician. He was a very prominent politician in South Africa. He fashioned himself as a leader of the Indian community. He was a great philanthropist, and he attended this meeting. And in fact, just to talk a little bit about him, he actually helped ISKCON a great deal in the early days. In for example, getting the land in which Sri Radharanath temple is built on today. That land, he in the early days, when in the early apartheid days, it was very difficult for Indians to get land for things like temples and things like that. And Rajvanshi helped in that regard. And also in the early days, when we had the white-bodied disciples coming to South Africa, they got great flack from the South African government, and they were targeted for expulsion from the country. And Mr. Rajvanshi played a huge part in maintaining their visas, etc., and keeping them in this country. So he was a very prominent man, and we had a huge attendance at that program. It was a fantastic program. So Guru Maharaj, that particular event took place in 2010 that we just described now. And this was some of Guru Maharaj's activities and events. Whenever Guru Maharaj stayed in South Africa, he always went for a morning japa walk, and disciples went with him. He enjoyed his walks on the deep. This was on the Durban beachfront, and you can see here some of the disciples that you may recognize at those activities. And that was in 2010. And then Guru Maharaj did a lot of retreats in South Africa. I think we did about 3 retreats in South Africa. And he preferred going up to the mountains, the Drakensberg Mountains. There's a range of mountains that is about 250 kilometers away from Durban. And we often booked at Champagne Sports. Himanga Chaitanya Prabhu was expert at setting up these retreats. He was able to get. I was always amazed at how he used to get these things at next to nothing, and Guru Maharaj micromanaged the program with Himanga Prabhu, and making sure that all the prasadam, the lectures, the arrangements were made to the T. And Guru Maharaj always insisted on having a fully set up altar with Charu Prabhupada and the deities. We had a morning program, and Guru Maharaj used to give us a series of lectures. Generally, it was a lecture in the morning, and then we had breakfast, and then we had some recreational time, and a lecture in the evening. Guru Maharaj's idea about the retreats was that we that he wanted to have his disciples around him, not only in a serene environment, not only for spiritual instruction, but also to have recreational time with his disciples. He says he's traveling around the world all the time, and this was his only chance to get everybody together. And he was quite serious about that, and he really wanted everybody to attend these retreats. And they turned out to be a huge success. And there you have Guru Maharaj paying his obeisances on the very first morning of the 2010 retreat in the Drakensberg. And Lord Jagannath, Father Dev and Subhadra joined us. And of course, this was Guru Maharaj giving one of the lectures at that retreat, sitting on a very high Vyasa. We had to get a step for Guru Maharaj to get upon that one. And then this is a japa walk during one of those breaks into from the lectures. So Guru Maharaj here with Jagananda, Ram Vijay Prabhu, that's Jagananda Pandit, that's Jamna Acharya, myself, Sri Charan Prabhu. And I can't recognize who the guys in the back are, but that was always a wonderful time in the Drakensberg. Guru Maharaj took time off to make certain that he met all the senior people that attended, and found out how they were doing in their lives, instructing them in every minor way. And this here, as you can see, is hugging Prabhu Vishnu Prabhu. During that 2010 retreat, Guru Maharaj had everybody write a little glorification of the appreciation of Srila Prabhupada, and we set aside the evening sessions where each devotee was called to speak his appreciation of Srila Prabhupada. And this is how it happened. And then at some of our retreats, this was at the 2011, I think it was, a retreat, we used to get special guests arriving. And in this instance, it was Bhakti Chaitanya Swami who was going to join us at the retreat. And Guru Maharaj was making sure that the arrangements for his or his presence there was micromanaged, as you can see. Guru Maharaj is setting up the place, and there you have Guru Maharaj with Bhakti Chaitanya Swami doing kirtan. And of course, this was some of the activities. This is, you can see Guru Maharaj's mood on that day, dancing with the children, and how the children enjoyed that. And I even managed to get some special mercy on that day. Guru Maharaj had his arms around me, and we were dancing. During the lunch breaks at the retreats, Guru Maharaj always came to the dining hall to make sure that everybody was comfortable and well fed, and had informal discussions with everybody. He stopped at every table, literally every day, and to make sure everything was fine. And of course, this is Himanga Chaitanya Prabhu. He was responsible for putting these retreats together, and in fact, putting together the menus and making sure that the rooms were booked, everybody allocated correctly, and he did a really great job. So Himanga Chaitanya Prabhu was involved in a lot of this service, and we really take our hats off to him. And of course, the retreat photograph on the final day, Guru Maharaj got everybody together and made sure we took a photograph of everybody in the garden of the resort. I'm sure if you look here, you'll be able to see some people that you recognize. And Bhakti Chaitanya Swami was there. That's Prabhu Prabhu. Yeah, so that's retreat. Okay, and then we come to this was also in 2010. So during 2010, Guru Maharaj had a discussion with me and spoke about how we can spread Krishna consciousness and methods, unusual methods, or thinking out of the box in terms of spreading Krishna consciousness. So I came up with the idea of having a conference style, presentations done at the ICC in Durban. So just to tell you that the ICC in Durban, the International Convention Center, is considered to be one of the best convention centers in Durban. And so any program held there or any conference held there is highly regarded. So I spoke to Guru Maharaj. I said, why don't we do this? And so we set about getting this program put together, and Guru Maharaj decided to call it the Vedic Lifestyle Expo Conference. And this happened in 2010. So we decided to get some very prominent speakers from overseas. So we flew them all in, and this cost us a lot of money, but we did it very professionally. And Guru Maharaj insisted on that professional attitude to do this, in order to give an impression to the public of the level at which we operate at. And you can see here the speakers where this is Ujjain Prabhu, who spoke extensively on Vedic astrology and Vedic cosmology. This was Ajamil Prabhu, who spoke on astrology as well. This is a friend of Guru Maharaj's. He's an Ayurvedic doctor from Coimbatore in India, and he spoke on, I think his name was Dr. Ram Kumar. Dr. Ram Kumar. He spoke on Ayurvedic medicine. And this is one of our god brothers from Belize. He's now in New York City. He's known as Charu Chandra, and he's a great yogi. And so he did many yogic displays, and the people were very, very attracted to that kind of that activity. And this was the organizing team for that. That's myself, Himangi Mataji, Sri Hari Prabhu, Anuradha, and Naren Patadin. These were the core team that responsible for putting this program together. It was a program that involved a plenary session and number of parallel sessions with each aspect that was being discussed, each aspect of Vedic culture that was discussed, and so people could break away and go to the groups that they wish to go to. A lot of these sessions were interactive. So for example, the yoga sessions were interactive. The Vastu program, the Vastu session of it attracted a lot of attention. People were very interested in the Vastu and the astrology, and that attracted a lot of attention. This here is Anuradha Mataji and myself with Guru Maharaj. Every morning we should sit together to discuss and plan the events of the day, and which was very important because even though we had made an initial, we had actually made a program. We had printed a program. This Vedic Lifestyle Expo we advertised it in the newspaper. We actually advertised it on billboards throughout Durban, and we got a massive response, and very pleasing for Guru Maharaj. And we actually charged the delegates an entrance fee for this. And I was surprised that people didn't complain, but they paid to come for this, and it was a huge success. So this was one of the interactive sessions. This is one of the interactive sessions with Yogi Chandra, getting the audience involved. This is part of the audience doing meditation. Many questions. Guru Maharaj was asked many questions by the audience. A lot of them, lot had to do with the relationship between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva. You see, people from other lines of Hinduism were there. So we had a huge representation from across the spectrum at this conference. So I'll just play you a little video now of how the conference started.
Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami, His Excellency Consul General of India, Charan, the Honorable Ambassador to EU, Belgium, Luxembourg, Dr. Srila, His Worship, the Deputy Mayor of Durban, Mr. Logi Naidu, invited speakers and chairpersons, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am Anuradha Gandhi, and on behalf of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness and our founder, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Swami Prabhupada, we would like to warmly welcome you to this Vedic Lifestyle Expo.
So as you can see, it was Anuradha Mataji. She was the chair, and she introduced the speakers and opened the conference. Sorry. Next slide, okay. And then this is the next video where she introduces Guru Maharaj. And you can see there, these are the dignitaries that were asked to leave the stage so that Guru Maharaj can then start his talk. But as you can see, being the magnanimous person Guru Maharaj is, he escorted them all off the stage before he took the mic. This man was the Deputy Mayor of Durban. And we even had the Consul General of India at the conference. And when Guru Maharaj introduced started the conference, he started with the invocation, and you could hear a pin drop in the audience when Guru Maharaj did that invocation. It was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. So to formally begin the presentation, our keynote speaker today is His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami. She will be presenting on Vedic philosophy, a scientific approach to self-realization. Please welcome His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami.
So we'll just show a short clip of the beginning.
Viratmasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamuchyate Asya Adaya Purnamevavashishyate Ishavashyam Idam Sarvam Jatkincha Jagatam Jagat Tena Taktena Kunjika Mamrika Kashvashvana Jam Brahma Varune.
So that was Guru Maharaj starting the conference, and that conference went on for 2 days and ended in a fantastic final kirtan, and we got rave reviews from all the participants, and it was something that was that I was really proud to be associated with. And Guru Maharaj was very pleased that we were able to have this conference, because his main aim and main message to the general public was in that conference to show them their spiritual identity. In fact, he wanted to name the conference, "What is your spiritual identity?" And that was the whole idea of doing that conference. Guru Maharaj is also involved in a lot of social cohesion programs here in South Africa. Guru Maharaj also always mentioned to us that here in South Africa, because of the racial divide, especially between the tensions between the black population and the people of Indian origin, that we have to understand that this country belongs to the black people in this country. And it is for us to ensure proper social cohesion between the two communities, and we must teach them Krishna consciousness as well. And so that was a thrust for many of these social cohesion programs. This particular program, you can see again Anuradha Mataji, she was involved with this. She was expert at all of this. Here she got together, this chap here is a pastor in one of the African Christian movements. He spoke at the social cohesion program with Guru Maharaj. This man, Mr. Ngobo, this man, Mr. Ngobo, was the Minister of Arts and Recreation, and he with Anuradha Mataji helped put this program together. This lady that we're seeing here is Dr. Devi Rajab. She's a prominent sociologist here in South Africa, writes very well, and writes a weekly column in the newspaper. And so, and she also is very, very strong in the field of social cohesion, and was very happy to help us with this setup. This was some of the audience on that particular day, and the children, of course, entertained the public with the Maha Mantra. So I just want to say another thing about social cohesion and interracial relationships in this country, and how Guru Maharaj felt about that. Guru Maharaj was very, very sincere and adamant that that black preaching takes precedence in this country. So much so that in the early 2000s, late 2000s, Guru Maharaj actually purchased a piece of property near the airport here in Durban. I think it was about 12 hectares of land, and he earmarked that land for part of the social cohesion, food for life, and the introduction of Krishna consciousness into that area. For many reasons, this project never really took off, and but now Sri Hari Prabhu, Aravinda Prabhu, and myself are looking at starting a Food for Life program, a teaching program in that area, and hopefully we can start a primary healthcare facility there as well. So hopefully this we can do in the next couple of years for the pleasure of Guru Maharaj, because that was one of his greatest desire in South Africa, was for the upliftment of the Black people and the teaching of spirituality to them, and in particular our Vedic culture. So please bless us, everybody, and that we can make this a success. Excuse me. I don't know how I'm doing for time. Vyasa Pujas, Guru Maharaj had many Vyasa Pujas in South Africa. And it was we used to alternate the Vyasa Pujas between the two temples in Durban. One was at the Sri Sri Radharanath temple, and we alternated with the new Jagannath Puri temple in Phoenix. So these particular pictures were from the Vyasa Puja 2012. It was held at Sri Sri Radharanath temple, and we were very fortunate on that particular day to have His Holiness Lokanath Swami attending, and you can see the absolute love and reverence that Guru Maharaj had for his god brothers, and you can see Guru Maharaj was beaming on that day. And Padasarati Swami and His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami was also present during that festival. And here's a little clip. At the end of each Vyasa Puja, Guru Maharaj used to do a fantastic kirtan, and this is a little clip of that kirtan. And on that topic, Guru Maharaj always said that the tune he chose for any kirtan, he chose a specific tune to fit the mood and the time of day. So Guru Maharaj consciously chose the tune based on the time of day, the environment, the surroundings. So it wasn't just a guess and singing any tune. So this is something interesting that he always mentioned. So let's play this little tune with Lokanath Swami starting off the kirtan and Guru Maharaj taking it. Srila Prabhu just told me that the video is not coming through. Is that true, Prema? Is the video not coming through?
Yes, Prabhu, it's breaking up. We can't really hear.
Oh, okay. So okay, I'll just omit this video and go on then. What the very first video I showed, did that come through nicely? This one is having a problem. Okay.
Better than this one.
Sorry?
The first one was better than this one.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I'll omit this one. I'll go on to the next slide. This was the Vyasa Puja 2012 at Sri Radharadhanath Temple. As you can see, we had a huge turnout, and this was the wonderful lotus cake that was presented to Guru Maharaj, and of course the kirtan. There's Lokanath Swami here as well. That had we had a fantastic after session. This was the Vyasa Puja in 2013 at I know this was New Jagannath Puri Temple, attended by Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, and you can see the interaction between Guru Maharaj and Bhakti Chaitanya Swami. Guru Maharaj made him take the cake himself, and then the following day, this was at our home. Guru Maharaj arranged for us to have the readings of the offerings. You can see this video. This picture shows the devotees are waiting for Guru Maharaj's arrival that evening on the 18th of September, and these are the boys, all the brahmacharis from India that were present in South Africa for that Vyasa Puja, and everybody had a chance to read the offering to Guru Maharaj on that particular day. Then this was the Vyasa Puja 2014, also at this was at Sri Radharadhanath Temple, and you can see Guru Maharaj on that particular day had a fantastic car to take him to his Vyasa Puja. This car belonged to Vivian Reddy, who's a very prominent businessman and an electrical businessman here in South Africa, extremely prominent man, and he lent us the car to take Guru Maharaj to the Vyasa Puja, to his Vyasa Puja in 2014. This was after the Vyasa Puja. You can see Prabhu here. We was discussing with Guru Maharaj the finer details of the altar that at the temple, and giving Prabhu some comments on how these should be prepared and placed on Srila Prabhupada's Vyasasan, above his Vyasasan. I just want to say a few.
Also came from Ujjain.
Yes, oh yes, of course, that's right.
That also came from Ujjain,
Yes, that altar had come. In fact, both the altars at Jagannath Puri Temple came from Ujjain, and made by the Ujjain team. So that was like incredible. And so just talk a little bit about the impact that Guru Maharaj had on some influential people. You can see that this man here is Mr. Mangaru. Mr. Mangaru. He owned a big, one of the largest bus companies in South Africa. Very extremely rich man, and we made contact with him at the time of the Vedic Lifestyle Expo. So I approached Mr. Mangaru for a donation to help us with the setting up of the Vedic Lifestyle Expo, and he was very generous in his donation to us. So Guru Maharaj, after that program, Guru Maharaj went to his house, and this was Guru Maharaj entering his house, and there was a program there with all his family members. This photograph was with Ajamil Prabhu, was at his office in Phoenix Industrial, and Mr. Mangaru was very inspired by Guru Maharaj. He was really so much so that Mr. Mangaru donated a huge piece of land to Guru Maharaj in Newlands here in South Africa. And this land was actually belonged to the family and to his father, and was the original property in which he actually grew up on. And he donated this piece of property to Guru Maharaj. And today, on the this property has a Food for Life kitchen on it, which was opened on the 11th of June 2021 by the Premier of KZN and Vivian Reddy, who donated also to this temple. So not only did Mr. Mangaru's family donate the land, but they actually donated the money for building the Food for Life kitchen. So this is the impact that Guru Maharaj had on prominent people in our society in South Africa. This was another man that had a profound effect on that Guru Maharaj had a profound effect on. This is Mr. Naren Patadin. He owns a stationery business in South Africa. Very extremely rich man. He also donated to the Vedic Lifestyle Expo and helped the whole project actually succeed. And by the end of his association with Guru Maharaj, he was calling Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj, even though he had never had any association with him previously. And this is a meeting in our house after that particular program. This is Mr. Ranjit Ramnarayan. In fact, I'm just going back to Naren Patadin. Naren, on this particular day when he left, had tears in his eyes because he was so deeply touched by Guru Maharaj. This is Mr. Ranjit Ramnarayan, also a great businessman here in South Africa, owned a fleet of trucks, very close to Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj had a lot of respect for him. He also donated a lot to Guru Maharaj's projects. He donated a lot to the Ujjain Project in India. And recently he passed away, but he was a very close friend of ISKCON. And here he had the opportunity to dance with Guru Maharaj at one of our retreats. So I just want to say something about Shyamlal Prabhu. I'm sure Shyamlal Prabhu is probably known to most of you people, but just to put you in the picture of who Shyamlal Prabhu was. Shyamlal Prabhu was Prabhupada, was initiated by Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada sent him as a little boy to Africa to preach in Africa. And Shyamlal Prabhu had visited literally every single country in Africa. He actually became fluent in Swahili. And he used that to do a lot of preaching in Kenya, Tanzania, and all those Middle African countries. And Shyamlal Prabhu was very, very close to Guru Maharaj. In fact, Shyamlal Prabhu was responsible for Guru Maharaj coming to South Africa. In the early days, during the apartheid time, Indian nationals were not allowed to visit South Africa. They had on the passport, and in fact, you could see on Guru Maharaj's passport, it said they're eligible to visit every country except South Africa. It said on his passport. So Guru Maharaj couldn't come to South Africa. He was invited to come to South Africa, and he couldn't come. But Shyamlal Prabhu, with using all his contacts in the Department of Home Affairs, was able to arrange a visa for Guru Maharaj, and actually had the visa delivered to the airport. Guru Maharaj made the trip to South Africa, not knowing whether he'd be allowed into the country. But thanks to Shyamlal Prabhu, he managed to make that succeed. And that is how Guru Maharaj just started to come to South Africa. And we all have to be grateful for that one event that Guru Maharaj was, that Shyamlal Prabhu arranged for Guru Maharaj, that we all became Guru Maharaj's disciples. And subsequent to that, Guru Maharaj came repeatedly to South Africa, of course. And in this particular picture, this is a sad photograph actually. This is Shyamlal Prabhu was diagnosed as having a brain tumor. And Guru Maharaj made a special trip when he heard that news, made a special trip to South Africa to come and visit him. and the interaction between the two was so sweet. Guru Maharaj loved him, and he loved Guru Maharaj. And this was a photograph taken on the same day when Guru Maharaj met Shamla Prabhu in our home. And you can see in this photograph, that is Sri Hari Prabhu, Jagannatha Pandit Prabhu, Shamla Prabhu's daughter, Sri Murti Mataji, Shamla Prabhu's wife, Himangi Mataji, Anuradha, and Shamla Prabhu's second daughter. And these two little girls here are my girls, and these two boys are Sri Hari and Anuradha Mataji's boys. And so I just want to play a little clip from that meeting between Srila Prabhupada, or rather between Srila Gurudev and Shamla Prabhu. It is such a sweet little video. I hope it plays.
Sure. And also I have a best friend who's really surrendered to his divine grace. Serve Srila Prabhupada, I saw. So therefore, I feel what else do we do?
There's another video.
I'm looking forward to your kindness, love, all the time you're showing us. I really appreciate this friendship. Friendship is always there, Maharaj. That never was. Friendship is all the time. Yes, really. And if I ever offended or anything, that's all right. There is no, when there's a question of no, by knowingly, unknowingly, no. I'm just saying it, knowingly, unknowingly, it happens. Sometimes at service or something. But this is a duty. Okay, let's put it this way. When they're friends, is there any question of offenses? No, that's a friendship. Now I'm talking on a spiritual level. Spiritual level is that level is that's why every day at the end of the argue, what we say? Duty. It's my duty. I protect. You're doing your duty and you're back to the point.
So this is the type of loving relationship that Guru Maharaj had with all his god brothers. It was really sweet. Shamla Prabhu passed away eventually from his brain tumor, and from that video you can see that his thought processes were affected, but he was a wonderful devotee, and I consider Shamla Prabhu to be my second guru. He taught me how to put my dhoti on. He taught me how to put tilak. He taught me a lot, and I'm really grateful for Shamla Prabhu. And here in this photograph, you can see the loving relation that Guru Maharaj maintained with all his god brothers. Guru Maharaj never fought with anyone. Guru Maharaj was amicable with all his god. He loved them sincerely. And in this photograph, I don't know what year this is from. This is probably from the early 2000s, where Guru Maharaj was staying at our place. He invited his god brothers for lunch to our home. And this was the hugs that took place as they left that day. And with that, there were many, thoughts and that I put together for this, but time doesn't allow. 1 hour has passed already, and maybe on another occasion I can talk about other things that I've missed out in this talk. But I just want to say that I'm so grateful for Guru Maharaj for giving me relevance in my life, and this hug signifies his love for me and my love for him. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Remanji Mataji, would you like to say something?
Thank you so much, Sunil Mohan Prabhu.
You're more than welcome.
You have had so much personal association with Guru Maharaj. Could you please share us some of the exchanges you had with Guru Maharaj when he stayed at your place? Because he stayed at your house many, many times.
Yes, no, Guru Maharaj stayed with us many times, and I purposely didn't mention many of that because I'm going to leave that for Himangi Mataji next week. Yes, Guru Maharaj always, whenever Guru Maharaj came, he never took it. He never, just took it for granted that he can come home. He always phoned me wherever he came, whenever he wanted to live with us for that period. He used to call me and say, Sunil Mohan, I'm coming to live with your home. I'm arriving on a certain date, and that sort of thing. And we had some loving exchanges. Guru Maharaj used to take part in the cooking and preparing of prasadam, which Himangi will discuss about next week. Don't want to take the thunder away. And those are the one incident I'd like to mention that was not such a good one. I just built a pool at my property, and so Guru Maharaj, I said to Guru Maharaj, please Guru Maharaj, you can be the first person to swim in this pool, So Guru Maharaj very reluctantly said, okay, I'll swim in the pool, So he got into his shorts and he swam in the pool. He swam a few laps, and then he came out of the water. And then about 10 minutes later, Guru Maharaj called me to his room. And he says, Sunil Mohan, I'm not feeling well. So I had a look at the Guru Maharaj, and he had an ashen look on his face, And then I felt his pulse, and Guru Maharaj's pulse was irregular. And then and that evening we were supposed to have a disciple meeting. Guru Maharaj arranged for a disciple meeting to come. And some of the disciples were already arriving. And then I realized that this is something that I can't ignore. So I immediately phoned one of my colleagues. I told Guru Maharaj, I have to take you. Guru Maharaj said, no, I'm fine. I don't want to go anywhere. Guru Maharaj never wanted to have any medical care. But anyway, I insisted on Guru Maharaj jumping into the car, and off we went to the doctor, cardiologist, and we did an ECG. And Guru Maharaj was having atrial fibrillation. It possibly could have been to the effort that he put into when he took that swim. And I felt so guilty about that. It was unbelievable. And then if you have a patient with atrial fibrillation, you're going to have to admit them into ICU, into cardiac ICU, because the greatest danger with that is the patient getting a stroke. So Guru Maharaj was lying on the bed in the doctor's surgery, and then he said, and we said to Guru Maharaj, we have to admit you to ICU. He says, no, never. And he hopped out of the bed. He says, take me home. I've got my disciples waiting for me. I said, no, Guru Maharaj, you can't do this. You're putting your life in danger. I don't care. Srila Prabhupada, look after me. And he insisted on going home. So I said, okay, look, I can't win this battle. And then we took Guru Maharaj back home, and we took him to his room, and we gave him the tablet. We gave him a warfarin tablet to thin his blood down so that, decreases the chance of stroking. And I can't remember. I think that evening we didn't have. I think we postponed the disciple meeting, and we put Guru Maharaj to bed. And that night, I literally slept outside Guru Maharaj's door. I went in regularly to feel his pulse and find out how he's doing. But Guru Maharaj never will reveal his medical problems. He will hide it. He hid it many times. And I remember going in at 3 o'clock in the morning and feeling his pulse. And I went in at 5, I literally staying outside his door. And I went in at 5 o'clock. I went to feel his pulse, and his pulse was completely normal, completely and utterly normal. This does not happen. This does not happen normally. The patient is having this condition. And next morning, he got up, he had his breakfast, and he was perfectly fine. And then we had that disciple meeting that the following day. And in fact, I've got a video clip of that. I didn't put it on here. And Guru Maharaj is making a joke of this whole thing about how he's feeling well. The doctor said, "I'm fine now." And I couldn't believe how Guru Maharaj recovered from that atrial fibrillation condition on that particular day. It was just like a miracle. So that was one of my remembrances from that. It was a frightening remembrance because I didn't want anything to happen to Guru Maharaj while he was under my care.
Thank you, Srila. We'd like to invite devotees to ask any questions, or if they have any comments, please raise your hand. Okay, while devotees think, I can ask you another question, Srila Prabhu. Did Guru Maharaj give you any instructions for raising your children? Because you have two beautiful daughters.
Yes, that's something I wanted to talk about actually, and it was on my list of things to talk about. Thanks for bringing the point up, Prema. When one of the reasons that we actually became devotees is because Himangi and I couldn't have children in the beginning, and only when we became devotees, the children come. And in a way, I see it as a blessing, and I see it as Krishna wanting to send devotee children to us. And only when we became devotees, we were rewarded with that. And in the year 1999, when Himangi Mataji was pregnant, Guru Maharaj said to us, he said, "Sunil Mohan, when Himangi gives birth to the child, I want you to she must stop working. I want her to stop working, and you the hunter, you go and work, and she must stay at home and bring these children up." And then Himangi, of course, resigned from her day job, and she looked after the children. And a year later, our second child, Sulakshana, came, and Himangi looked after them, and she took care of them. We never needed a helper to look after the children. Himangi took exceptional care of the children. And Guru Maharaj, of course, his instruction bore fruit, because we got two fantastic daughters who are such great girls. They're now in university, and they're studying. One is studying to become a doctor, and one is studying to become a lawyer. And hopefully, whatever Krishna consciousness that we taught them will hold them in good stead going forward. And that was in Guru Maharaj's instruction to us regarding our children, to bring them up as devotee children. Of course, there's still a lot of fine tuning to be done, smoothing out the rough edges. But I pray that will happen with time. But the seeds have been sown as Guru Maharaj had desired.
Amazing children for noble parents. That's so nice.
Yeah, thank you.
We see Mirabai Mataji has her hand up. Prabhu, could you unmute her, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Ask to unmute. I can't do it from my side.
Hare Krishna, Sunil Mohan Prabhu, Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mirabai Prabhu. So nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, same with you. And what are the best memories you have with Guru Maharaj?
My best memories, Mataji.
Yeah.
I think that Vedic Lifestyle Expo must stand out, because because for the simple reason is that I felt Guru Maharaj was very happy with how we did that particular project. It was, on the head in terms of the way we want to preach, to who we wanted to preach, and how we wanted to do it. And a lot of effort went into that. And I must say that after that particular project, I became very close to Guru Maharaj. And I remember the day that Guru Maharaj was leaving. He was after the Vedic Lifestyle Expo, and I paid my obeisances in the entrance hall to our house, and I just broke down and cried and cried and cried, so much so that Guru Maharaj put his arms around me and said, "You're coming with me. Come with me." But it was not possible because I had taken 2 weeks off work and I had to get back. My patients were waiting for me, and how I wish I didn't have to see my patients. How I wish I could have went to them. And that particular time was really, really, really an emotional time for me, and I really came close to Guru Maharaj at that time.
You're very fortunate.
I mean, I had lots of association with Guru Maharaj. A lot of Mirabai Maharaj, that there are a lot of the things that we can't speak over here.
Yeah.
But Guru Maharaj was really, he entrusted a lot in me, and I wish that I fulfill even half of what he wanted me to do for him. And one day, maybe when I meet him again, hopefully he'll tell me the truth.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was I had a special relationship with Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
As you can see that, remember the time when I came to India and I stayed at your place?
Yeah.
We had so much to do for Guru Maharaj at that time.
I know.
Yeah. And I must say that, Guru Mirabai Maharaj and Mukesh Babu, he was like, I mean, they helped Guru Maharaj so much, and Guru Maharaj was, I must say, Guru Maharaj was so grateful to you. He told me on many occasions how grateful he is to both of you for all that you did for him.
It's what I can say. Prabhupada went through so many difficulties. Same way Guru Maharaj went through so many difficulties.
Yes.
At that time, you don't realize that they're such a highly elevated person. But now you repent for that. We could have done much, much more. Always you feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guru Maharaj's importance, the importance of Guru Maharaj to this movement and society will only bear fruit in the future.
Right.
This is what happened with people who are legends.
Mm-hmm. It was a nice to see all these pictures, also videos. So very
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Soon we'll be able to come to India and meet you again.
Yeah. Looking forward for that.
We're looking forward to that. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mirabai Mataji.
Thank you, Mirabai Mataji, for churning out more nectar.
Thank you, Mataji.
Now we have Prema Pallavi Mataji. Her hand is up.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. Aglas to Prabhupada, aglas to Gurudev. I'm from the US. Thank you so much for sharing all the nectar. Really, really appreciate, the presentation, the interactions that you showed. Really, really, it was. I struggle sometimes. It's overwhelming, now that Guru Maharaj is not there, and all of us had that special connection with Guru Maharaj because he was very personal to everyone. We didn't have like mentoring system. He was like direct for us.
Yeah.
So that is very hard because now, it's just like, we do have, we are in the community, and I think he instilled that in all of us right from the beginning is connect to the local authority, connect to everyone that, that'll help us probably in this difficult time. What is one instruction that you feel is very close, that keeps you connected to him every day? Because I struggle sometimes and I feel like I'm all over the place.
Yeah, firstly, I must say that what you said in the beginning is quite true. That Guru Maharaj made every single disciple feel as if his only disciple. Guru Maharaj is very good at that. And yeah, I think Guru Maharaj insisted on our chanting to be pure, unoffensive chanting. The unoffensive chanting of the holy name is so important. Guru Maharaj always stressed that. He stressed the importance of Srila Prabhupada in our lives. And I think also, literally every day I'm listening to a lecture by Guru Maharaj. And that keeps me connected to Guru Maharaj and gives me the solace to go ahead. But like today, like when I was preparing this talk, Smita Prabhu and I were looking at some of these photographs and some of the lectures, and we couldn't believe that Guru Maharaj is not here. And I think that is, in a way, a way that we can, use a media that's available. Guru Maharaj left a huge amount of media, and I think taking part in listening to his lectures, listening to Guru Maharaj's lectures, listening to his videos is a way we're going to keep connected. And that's how I do it. There's not a single day that goes by that I don't listen to a lecture from Guru Maharaj.
Wow. Thank you so much, Prabhu, because I don't do it that often. Thank you so much.
Well, you don't have to listen to the whole lecture, Maharaji. I don't listen to the whole lecture. I listen to, even if it's 10 to 15 minutes a day, listening to Guru Maharaj's voice, because Guru Maharaj, his whole life revolved around Krishna. He had Krishna in the center of his life, and he just spoke nectar day in and day out. And everything he spoke was an instruction. Everything in every talk, everything he said was an instruction. And I think that's how we need to see it and follow it. And I think if we do that, we'll feel his presence forever,
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Really appreciate it.
Alex.
Any other questions? Maybe you can share with us one more pastime before we close.
One more person.
Yes.
Yeah, I got chastised a few times. Guru Maharaj always, whenever he chastised you, and I got chastised quite a few times, and I should feel terrible when I got chastised. Not because I did the wrong thing, but because I let him down. And but I can tell you that every single time that Guru Maharaj chastised me, he phoned me back a few hours later or the next day, and he sort of was very, very soft and made me feel as if, in a way he never apologized as such, but he made me feel as if I'm still very much part of his thoughts and his and I must follow his instructions. It was basically, the chastisement was an instruction. Don't do this again. And when he was soft and in his reply the next day, then you realize that you must not do this again, and you feel really bad that whatever happened, you don't do this. You must. It's an instruction to improve yourself, and so I didn't mind the chastisement. In fact, days later, I would think about it and I'd say that only somebody who loves you as much as Guru Maharaj does will do that. And yeah, so I took it as mercy, great mercy from Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Sunil, Mohan, Prabhu. Smita Krishna Prabhu, would you like to close the session?
Hare Krishna. I moved away from my station where I'm charging my phone now. So
Smita Prabhu is actually, I'm just to say, Smita Prabhu is actually at my home at the moment. He's downstairs and I'm upstairs. That's how I got to know that the video wasn't working, because he came to tell me.
Yeah, but thanks so much, Sunil Prabhu. it's nice to recollect all that because, you
Yeah.
know, as part of that, it's sometimes and all of that. So it was a very fond recollections. And thank you very much. I mean, I'm glad you had taken all those photos because when I was looking through them with you, that's reliving all of those moments with Guru Maharaj and recollecting all of those experiences and events. And yes, certainly Guru Maharaj knew how to engage everybody according to their propensities. So the whole Vedic Expo thing was because you were, you had done big conferences, medical conferences and so on. So he knew that you'd pull it off. And then with Anuradha Maharaj and Sri Hari Prabhu, their kind of experience and expertise, phew, that was a formidable team there. So that is wonderful. So thank you for sharing. And Pema Manjari Mataji, thank you for always having this program. Naren Patadin, Krishna Prabhu, thank you for coordinating there. I see there's another person who's also a host on this system. I haven't met. But,
I think there are some devotees from Ujjain who take care of Guru Maharaj's archives.
oh, okay. This is Murari Hari Prabhu. I see. Okay. Also, thank you so much for doing that, Murari Hari Prabhu. Hare Krishna. And we look forward to a further association of Guru Maharaj through this kind of Sangha. And all the devotees on this platform who have never met, please accept our humble obeisances. All glorious Guru Maharaj, all glorious Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
And
Krishna.
my apologies for freaking out about my data on the phone when you said the videos are not going through. I'm sorry. I was like, oh, asking my husband. Sorry. Hare Krishna. See you next week.
Thank you, Smith Krishna Potu, for wonderfully introduction and coordinating. Thank you so much, Rosie has explained very nicely different points to different pictures. And he told at last how we can remember him by daily hearing at least sometime like the Guru Maharaj lecture. That's wonderful. And thank you so much, Manjari Mataji, for coordinating so nicely. So we thank all Vaishnav devotees also, and we will look forward to you all on next Sunday. We'll having the again session. Thank you so much, all.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Jai Guru Maharaj ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrind.
Jai. Murari Hari Prabhu, we can end the meeting for all. Hare Krishna, Murari Hari Prabhu, can you please end the meeting for all? Okay, devotees can leave the meeting.